Yeah, it matters. Like, people want to go to the big show. They want to win. Like, as friendly as all these people are with each other, they're also competitors. When you get that 3, 2, 1 drop call, it's like flip a switch, comp mode.
The most prestigious contest in snowboarding.
Oh my God, it's just nuking.
Dropping in 3, 2, 1.
Probably the funnest contest I've ever done.
Yeah, back in the Natty Select, back in the bib after a couple years, so I'm very excited.
Yeah, gonna wakeboard. Got a ride with Nils Day going on. I got Victor from fans, super excited. Let's go!
This is nice.
Holy shit, it's snowing.
Completely forgot about this is like a contest.
2 seasons ago, we did 12 duels. It was like a full qualifier for everybody on the tour. This year, the top half of the field was automatically invited to Revelstoke, and then we just had a few spots to fill through the duels. So the duels served more as a small qualifier.
Duels really came about out of the reality that there is so many talented riders out there. And I think from the beginning, Natural Selection's always prioritized a lot of turnover with riders. And so with duels, letting the riding do the talking was kind of the intent. I would say there's kind of one big difference between the duels we did last year and the duels we did this year. Duels we did last year, there was essentially a host and there was a challenger. And it was up to the host to pick the area and kind of be responsible for the setup of where the riding was going to happen. And this year, Natural Selection picked the where. And so it was a bit more of an even playing field.
The first year I did duels with Ferg out in Whistler, I was just trying to be accommodating, hands off, and I straight up just got a couple cryptic texts from Ben and like a 2-day notice and just drove 2 days up to Whistler and had no idea what the venue would be, stuff like that. I just completely flew in blind. Moving on to this year, it was a little more built out, a little more robust, and be able to settle in to the event and maybe have my mind a bit more present.
That's deep snow. Man, that's super deep. Wow.
The intention with duels is definitely to have a bit more of a session. It's not too different, frankly, than how you would normally go ride with a buddy. Usually you're looking for some type of amazing feature or series of features, whether it's on resort or whether it's in the backcountry, that inevitably when you have a good setup, it's nice to lap it. It's nice to get a couple cracks. However, I think that it does make any session a bit more interesting when there is a session with something at stake. You hit the golf course and you put $5 on a hole, it just got a little more interesting.
Yeah. Rochambeau. I'll take it. Ah, you dog. You're a dog. I'll take it.
As far as invites go, we've generally had a returning rider protocol where the top half of the field is automatically invited back and the bottom half of the field is kind of out for a season. Now, that rule is actually out the window for this next year because we're deep enough into the tour now, going into year 5, where kind of everybody's had a kick at the can at this point.
Probably one of the most difficult things that happens with Natural Selection is the selection of riders and integrity. Try to put it first. And so that selection committee that we've formed, I think that they do a very good job of looking at everything from a rider's lifetime body of work to last season's performance. And out of that, they give invites. And so duels, 12 invites went out, 6 duels. And from that, 6 winners would move on and make it into the Revelstoke event.
Trying as much as we can to fill the roster with riders of different backgrounds, different nationalities, and different skill sets, because you really never know what the terrain is going to throw at folks and who's going to step up to it.
One part of it is the duels and the riders that show up for it, and then the other part of it is the location. And seeing as that is such a main character in everything that we do, a lot of effort and thought consideration went into where are these duels taking place.
Shin and his crew has worked this zone for a while, getting it dialed for us. I can't really see much right now, but in the photos it looks really good. Thankful for these guys.
One thing with the duels is that they allow us to scope new terrain. We're always searching for the next location. Doing a full-blown event in Japan or Europe would be rad. Doing a full-blown event in the lower 48 would be insane. But finding those locations requires searching, and duels is kind of allowing us to search with a smaller crew. It's a tighter film crew, couple filmers, drone guy, photographer, 2 riders. That's way easier than a full-blown production with 24 riders and multiple days of riding. And you can do a duel pretty much anywhere. Even a small piece of terrain usually holds enough riding for 2 riders to kind of do what they need to do and come out with a clear winner. The proper host spot for a duel has the right combination of snow, stability, weather, terrain, and hospitality. I think those are the key pieces that make a duel successful. Obviously for the riding, the terrain and the conditions really dictate what's able to be done, but having the support of the resort, of the operation in order to get where you need to get to when you need to get there, because you need to get there first. We're not talking about tracked out, chewed up faces. This is not so much. I guess what we're gonna try and find is where did the wind blow all the snow, because that looks kind of sketchy.
Going from toenail deep to ankle deep right now, so progression.
The snowpack this year going into this winter was low tide. We actually had to push back the red duel an entire month because there was no snow. I mean, we were looking at the video cams and the trails had dirt on them. So it was like, okay, let's do a quick pivot. Let's move that back. And there's so many factors that go into that. You have to coordinate with the resort. You have to coordinate with the riders. You have to make sure that your entire crew can still do that change. You're not gonna tell the weather what to do. So you really have to be able to pivot like on a dime.
I had my concerns. We all had our concerns about what this snowpack actually would be and if we could even host a duel at all 6 of these stops.
Every year is a little bit unique as far as when the snow comes, how it comes, how the base stacks up. It's the weather, it's conditions. And when you are at the mercy of Mother Nature, I think a lot of people get hung up with this, the conditions are good or the conditions are bad, when really the conditions are the conditions, and it comes down to making the most out of what you have to work with. As some of these duels, it wasn't just about a single zone. It was like, all right, let's try to diversify and be able to ride a few different areas. And then at the end of the day, someone inevitably rode better.
2024 Yeti Natural Selection and Raibu Katayama versus Torgeir Bergram. Rider dropping in 3, 2, 1. Torgeir, Raibu tore this place apart.
Probably the funnest contest I ever had.
and I've done a lot of content.
Swiss edition, Kevin Backstrom versus Sebe DeBont.
We're not talking anymore from now on. That was the last thing you said.
Oh, you get to pick. Yeah. Nice.
I'll go first this time.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, girl. Fuck, I never win road fans.
We are here in the beautiful Crested Butte Mountain Resort for a duel between Emma Crosby and Jamie Anderson.
Oh my god, it's just nuking.
Dropping in 3, 2, 1.
Red Gerard versus Austin Sweeten, run 1, about to go down. Dropping in 3, 2, 1, drop.
Oh my god, 3 of the 6 slash, dude.
As with the regular competitions, duels are judged via credo. So creativity, risk, execution, difficulty, and overall impression. Now, unlike the regular competition, duels aren't scored. Everybody watches all the runs and then makes sort of a win-loss decision. So if there's 5 runs, you watch all 5 runs, compare all 5 of them on those criteria, and then make a decision, who's the winner. And usually it's pretty cut and dry. And you usually come out of that day with just a vibe, but then the vibe check is sitting down, watching it with all the judges. That actually happens virtually at this point. Everybody watches, they put in their votes. The votes are usually unanimous, but if there's any kind of debate, we just get on a call and talk through the criteria.
I got a text from Liam asking if I had a second to catch up, and I was like, I think I know what that is. I was psyched. It was cool. It was the first time that I had won or advanced in a natural selection bracket, and it was my 3rd time, and it had been 4 years of kind of like ups and downs. It's this 3rd time that I rode well and just tried to kind of stay focused and not let my guard down in a way. So I was confident that I would be moving on, but there's also this aspect that was like, I've kind of done my best every time and it's never worked. So what if it's just not good enough again, There's that like grain of a little devil on your shoulder.